Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Melamed Shlita. Well, it's the first time this year that we're meeting, as we had a break for all the Chagim. I hope everyone had a meaningful, uplifting, and enjoyable Yom Tov season. Hard to believe that it's already over. And of course, since we last met, as we went into the final days of Yom Tov here, hearing the wonderful news that what we've been davening for so long, that our chatufim, that our hostages have been freed, and what an unbelievably enjoyable, elating experience that has been for all of us. There's still a lot of work to do, and we still have to daven for those families whose sons and children await proper Jewish burial, but certainly a great, huge step forward. So please continue davening for we no longer have to say safe return for our hostages. Baruch Hashem. It's been so long. 2 years we've been saying that, but we have to now pray for proper burial for those who require. And we dedicate our learning each day L'ili Nishmat Seren Daniel Shimon Ben Rav Daron V'Sheli Shem Kem Damo. Also finishing and completing that circle, as yesterday for us Yom Tov Sheni, but Isser Chag in Israel, that Daniel's body was brought back for Kever Yisrael, giving his family the closure that they need and being able to heal, hopefully, and move on. But he will never be forgotten, certainly not in this format, and certainly not in our lives. What a tremendous hero he was for the Jewish people. So we will continue our learning as we begin now the fall season, as we head into the winter. The traditional greeting after Yom Tov is a good winter. We should have a good winter. And Mashmusa Shal Yetziat Mitzrayim. So we are at episode 119. And amazing that now where we pick off is Yetziat Mitzrayim, and thinking of how many of our brothers and sisters had the experience of Yetziat Mitzrayim, of coming out of the dungeons of hell, now coming to freedom. HaMamlacha Mitzrit Sheshibda Es Yisrael Haisa Be'etzem Mamlacha Sachomer. So the Egyptian rule that subjugated and enslaved the Jewish people was quite a physical slavery. Even the historians agree, and they can certify this, that there was such a physical and building type of nation that more than anything that was part of the culture of the Egyptians. So that means that they were only engaged in the physical world because they denied any sort of soul searching or anything in the world to come. The only thing that was important was the physical body and anything physical in this world. That's why when they died, we have the mummification, and that's how they wanted to preserve the body, because the body was so important. But we realize that those big pyramidot, it's a great word, by the way, the pyramids are just nothing but giant places of graves to put the body. Their whole existence, desire, no one had greater desire, the Chazal tell us, than the Egyptians. It was all about desire for the physical body. Am Yisrael umazos but the Jewish people, the Jewish nation, our main draw, of course, is the spiritual nature. So in the period of a long, drawn-out era, as we know, the Jewish people were enslaved with physical, back-breaking labor. And it would seem that there was going to be no possibility of redemption. Everything that was promised to the forefathers, that it would never happen. It would never come true. Because the physical back-breaking labor would overcome the spirit. Until, of course, Hashem, the King of all kings, revealed himself, and we were able to overcome. So with the Exodus, Hashem revealed to the world for the very first time the depth of the spiritual value and all of the lessons that we can learn from it. Yetziat Mitzrayim mivates nitzchon haruach al hachomer. The Exodus really is an exemplification of the victory of the spirit over the physical. Kamasha hachomer yinaseh l'shavedes haruach, besofo shel davar haruach tishtachrer michableha lecherus. As much as the physical and labor wants to overcome the spirit, in the end of the day, it's the spirit that will bring us freedom. Just as the Jewish people, they left Egypt with victory, with great wealth, so too, any struggle between the spirit and the physical, and the realm of the spiritual and the realm of the physical, it will always be the spiritual will win out. כשם שעם ישראל השתחרר מחבלי החומר של האומה המצרית וקיבל תורה מהשמיים וגילו עומס האמונה והמוסר, כך כל אחד מישראל צריך לעסוק בכל יום השתחררות מחבלי חומריות כדי לגלות את הרוחניות להתקשר לריבונו של עולם על ידי קיום המצוות. So this example of the Jewish nation, that they were freed from these physical chains, from the physical subjugation of the Egyptians, and they accepted the Torah from Hashem in Shemayim, and we reveal to the world the notions of faith, so too every single person in the Jewish nation, every single day, we have to realize that we free ourselves from these physical chains that we have also, and we try to reveal the spiritual wealth and the spiritual connections that we have with Hashem, and this is all done through the fulfillment of mitzvahs. And this whole introduction here, this is why it is so important for us to mention the Exodus every single day and every single night. What this does is this frees us from the physical bonds and chains that tie us down, they hold us back. And this is the purpose of the Jewish people, is to reveal the truth, the real truth of victory, of the godly truth, of the ruchnius that we have. So it's quite an interesting lesson. Certainly perhaps quite important as we go into the winter right after Sukkot, a whole month of Yontif. Maybe it was a whole spiritual month, and now we get back into the physical, the grind, people saying how they have a regular work week coming up, which they haven't had in so long. So now that's something to think about, like, you know what, every single day we're going to think about Yetziat Mitzrayim, and we are going to remember that it's the Ruach, it's the Ruchnius that is victorious every single time. So great to have everyone back. Thank you so much for joining us. Please continue davening for Chaylik Tzag and Yisrael, for Israel, proper Jewish burial for those who need. Nishmat, Saren Daniel, Shimon, Arav, Doron, Michelle, Hashem, Damo. Thank you so much for joining us today. Looking forward to this new season. Have a great day. We'll see you here next time.